Howdy, and welcome to LeeReads, where I talk about the books I've been reading and enjoying lately. And now for something completely different, because I don't do TBRs, but I'm doing a TBR, and also my sister is holding the camera because she begged to, so I let her. Making a TBR this month in an effort to try to actually read the books that I want to read, which is a really stupid statement, but in an effort to not get distracted with all of the things out there that I want to read, I get a little overwhelmed, end up not actually doing it. I have a couple of goals in mind. I want to read some of the books that I've purchased to continue to work on reading the books that I buy and not just buying them and let them pile up. And I also have some series I want to continue. So I have some of the books with me here because I'm traveling, and then some of them are digital. And I'm going to start with the science fiction that I want to read. Children of Ruin, which is book 2 in the Children of Time series by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I actually thought this was a duology, and I thought this was finishing the series, and it's not. Apparently it's a trilogy because they just announced the title of the third one. I recently finished another popular science fiction story that I'll talk about in my reading wrap-up. Finishing that one made me very excited to pick this one up and continue the story. I've started it, but I've not gotten very far. The other science fiction novel that I want to read this month that I've also started is Armor, and that's one from my bookshelf, one that I own, so I'll feel doubly good if I read it because it's a classic that y'all have recommended to me to read, but also I own it, so killing two birds with one stone. I'd like to focus on that book this month, which is about a super soldier who has power armor, and so far where I am in the story, at the very beginning, they have been sent on this mission, and it pretty much seems like everyone but Felix has gotten killed, and so now he's in deep shit, basically. Moving on to fantasy, I started reading Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. Got about halfway through it and decided, wait, I want to do this world. I want to do Robin Hobb right, because I know that Ship of Magic is the second trilogy in her overarching series. And I own Assassin's Apprentice, book 1 in the Farseer trilogy, but I've not read it yet. So I paused Book of Magic, and I've gone back and I've started Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and I decided I'm going to read the trilogies in order. So Assassin's Apprentice is on my list for this month, and if I'm able to finish it, then I will also continue that trilogy. Speaking of continuing series, Age of Swords by Michael Sullivan. Book 2 in Legends of the First Empire. I did a reading vlog when I read Age of Myth, which is book 1 in the series. That one took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting to love the characters as much as I did. And I recently found book 2 and book 3 at the used bookstore, so that's a high priority item. Another fantasy series I started last year, the first book, A Natural History of Dragons, follows the memoirs of Lady Trent as it's like a Victorian setting, goes on this expedition to learn more about a certain type. This is book 2 in the series, continuing on her adventures. They go to a tropical climate, and it's more than just studying dragons. It's there's like political commentary, and there's just her personal hijinks that happen. It's kind of a cozy fantasy read for me, and I think I've been needing cozy reads lately. So I'm going to read this one this month, and if I still enjoy the series, then maybe I'll make it a continuation and read one book per month, because they aren't very long. This one I have from the library. I also recently got a Kindle Unlimited subscription where it was 99 cents for 2 months. So I have access to Kindle Unlimited. That's where I like to read more fantasy romance or romance reads. I know that Sword of Kaigen is a popular fantasy recommendation that's available on Kindle Unlimited, but please let me know what your recommendations are for while I have that subscription. What books of really any genre on Kindle Unlimited should I check out while they are free to read? Finally, I have one nonfiction that I plan on reading this month. It is called Thinking Fast and Slow. It's the psychology about why humans think the way that we do and how we make the decisions that we make, whether they're rational or not, and tries to provide tools to think better, to think more rationally, and it's something that I need to focus on doing. Not make snap or emotional decisions, but just to kind of take a step back and think, what are the fallacies here in this train of thought that I'm going down, and is there a better way to be thinking about this? So that is a nonfiction on my list that I plan to read this month. And I think that's it. I don't know that I'll finish all of them, but these are the ones I'm going to focus on. And if this goes well, and if I actually follow my TBR, I'm gonna try really hard, then I may consider doing monthly TBRs on a more regular basis. I just found myself feeling overwhelmed with wanting to read lots of things and not really knowing where to turn, and then I end up playing video games. I mean, there's worse problems to have in life. Don't forget to leave me your recommendations for the Kindle Unlimited suggestions in the comments. As always, don't forget to support your local library. Thanks. Bye. And a shout out to my sister for filming. I hope it was straight. She wants me to give a shout out to Stephen King, who I've been thinking about reading The Dark Tower by him. What are your thoughts? Yes? Should I read The Dark Tower? Okay, bye. Tell me when you're recording it. It could run for a minute before, because I'll just cut out.
Oh, well, it's been running.
Okay. All right.